Okay, so I'm getting ready to work on the 101, and so this is what I usually do first. I'll go in and I'll pull up one of these service manuals, and I don't know if this is the correct one. I have them all in paper form, but it's sometimes just easier to pull it up on the computer. So this looks like the very basic one. And we're gonna look at the alignment part though, because this radio works. Okay, so here we go. Alignment is 7-1. So there's some stuff with the heterodyne crystal oscillators, and when those are out, then you don't actually have anything on that band, but there's some other stuff that needs to be adjusted. So let's see what we got. Page 7. That's just listed on here. So the actual page is something else on the PDF. So this is a thing that warns you about the plug being different. This is the same manual I have printed up in a folder. So okay. Now, and these vary from the early 101s are slightly different. The trimmers are different. So I think we're on page 1 here. So we will go ahead and just scroll through kind of fast. I've done this enough times I should be able to see it when it pops up. We're still at page 1. 126. 131. Page 7, that's going to be like way the hell. So, where are we at? Section 4. Okay. And it goes into really good detail about how these circuits work. I mean, it's a really good manual for these radios. Lots of flow charts and stuff like that. We're still on 4 something. Okay. Where are we at? 5. Got to be getting close. Section 7, alignment. So in this section, we have warning, equipment required, alignment procedure for TX and RX, trap coil alignment, heterodyne crystal oscillator alignment, S-meter adjustment, noise blanker adjustment, side tone adjustment, Vox, carrier balance nulling, ALC level, RF processor, bias, final amplifier neutralization, power output, and band pass filter adjustment, which is critical also. So we would start with the basics here. Let's see if I can remember. The final amplifier bias adjustment must be set to 60 milliamps before extensive operation of the transmitter is attempted. It is assumed that the signal generated stages of the transceiver are functioning properly. You can use the internal generated signal of the transceiver to align the transmitter, mixer, and driver stages, and the RF signal generator to align the receiver front end. And that's what makes this radio absolutely amazing, is they made it in such a way that, like, literally you could fix the radio without any equipment just by using the marker. Okay, so then we will align the various traps and set the adjustments. If you work carefully, your ft101 will emerge from the alignment meeting all factory specifications. Remove the covers and read through the procedure so you understand the system we will be using and where the alignment points are located. So, what is this showing? This is the RF input circuit. So they're showing you the RF input circuit here and the different bands and the coils that are responsible for that. The capacitors, So connect a 50 ohm non-reactive dummy load to the antenna jack. Tune up the transceiver at 30 megahertz band 10D VFO at 30 megahertz as follows. Set the band switch to 10D. Pre-selector control to the upper end of 10 and 11 meter segment, and operation switch to MOX. Don't leave it in MOX position for more than 10 seconds at a time until it is in residence. So they just jump right in and they want you to do that. So I'm not sure why they're showing you this. Advance the carrier control and tune the amplifier. Don't exceed the resonant point current of 100 milliamps. It's actually not plate current, it's cathode current, but they call it plate current. Use the carrier control to adjust it up and down as required. Locate and set the trimmer TC5 to the mid-capacitance position. Soften the glue holding the spring shafts and adjust the slugs of T102, 103 of the pre-selector gang on top of the chassis for maximum output into the dummy load. So you never ever want to do this unless you absolutely need to. I don't know why they're so casual about it. This is supposed to be perfect from the factory. It is glued in place for a reason. They do not want you to monkey with it. So if you don't need to mess with this, do not touch it, please. After you have peaked these ones that you should not. Okay. So I don't agree with this manual. But we skipped that part. And what do they want you to do next? I'm just looking for the one that tells me the bands. Okay, set the band switch to 10A at 28. And advance the carrier control, tune, blah, blah, blah. Maintain the plate current at 100 milliamps with the current carrier control as described above. Now set the pre-selector control to the lower end of the 10 and 11 meter segment in the panel and readjust trimmer TC5 for maximum output. This is TC5 is probably the one on the bottom of the radio, and that's actually what we're actually after. Without changing the VFO or pre-selector, tune the RF signal generator to 28 megahertz and obtain a 1 hertz beat note. Control the signal generator output as before to avoid AGC action. Adjust the trimmer TC15 for maximum output. Okay. Repeat steps 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and peak the coil out of the adjustment for the 10 meter band. So, they're talking about TC5, and I'm not seeing it marked on here. So, let's just scroll through here. Okay, so now that you have the 10 meter band aligned, and that includes 11, set the band switch to 15, the VFO. So, okay, here's the procedure for 15. Okay, set the band switch to 80. Okay, are they skipping 40? So they got 15. After that, repeat the procedure given on the 20 meter band. So we got 15 and then 20. And here's the picture of the trimmers underneath the bottom. I don't see where TC5 is. Okay, TC5 is right here. And that's the one here. Literally, you can usually get in there and just adjust that. So here's 80, and then there should be another one for 160. I'm not seeing it. Okay. 80. So this gives us the basic information that we need to check all that, to make sure that that's okay. And then you go on to the trap coil alignment. And then the heterodyne crystal oscillator. You'll know if these are off because these adjust to the crystals here, and you just won't have anything on that band. It won't transmit, it won't receive. And if they've drifted a little bit, sometimes you'll lose lock on the oscillator. So sometimes you'll continually have problems with them. So what you want to do if you have that problem is you just turn it a few times back and forth to get it kind of any glaze or whatever off of it. Okay, so now it goes through the S meter, the noise blanker, the Vox, all that stuff. Side tone, carrier, you want to make sure you're not, you turn your mic gain all the way down and key up and make sure you don't have any kind of carrier on sideband. I don't know about ALC. I've never messed with that or the processor. I have done all the other stuff though, and the noise blanker can definitely be a pain on certain radios. Power output meter adjustment. There's a pot on the back of the radio. You can adjust that to make the meter agree with what it's supposed to say. So this shows us some alignment points, your bias, your marker, RF unit, S meter adjustment, Vox, side tone, AF unit, ALC, noise blanker, level. Yeah, there's lots of stuff here. So down in here is a cover where you might have to remove if you're going to get really deep into this. That's the trimmer deck that I was referring to. So that's underneath here. So 80, 40, and I don't remember. These are just for TX. Okay. They have not labeled any of them other than the band, but another reason this is good to have up on the computer is you could have that diagram up and then actually have your paper manual over here while you work on it. So, alright, well, we'll try and do the 10 meter one. I'm going to pull out my other manual, so this is just kind of a guide to walk you through if you're having trouble with this radio. And I'll do the actual stuff on another video, so stay tuned.